It's like a greatest hits collection of missed layups. I can't even believe this is real. I just stumbled across of it. There's 2 different videos now floating around out there, and it's unbelievable.
Angel Reese made headlines recently by boldly stating that she deserves a bigger paycheck, or she might walk away. But right after making that strong statement on her podcast, her next game didn't exactly back it up. Fans were left puzzled by a rough performance that raised eyebrows more than expectations. She finished the game hitting just 5 out of 13 shots. One of those even hit the bottom of the backboard, which only added to the criticism. The timing of it all couldn't have been worse for her case, especially after publicly pushing for superstar-level pay. While it's clear Reese has potential and drive, this particular game didn't help her argument, and it gave her critics plenty to talk about.
I'm hearing if y'all don't give us what we want, we sitting out.
That's a possibility.
I guarantee you, the intelligent folks, and there are plenty in the WNBA, are saying, will you two idiots just shut up? Sit out.
Girl, y'all benefited from everything. Y'all youngins benefited from NIL.
What does that mean? We deserve more.
Let's break this down. What would happen if a WNBA player hinted at boycotting the league over salary demands? Well, Angel Reese just gave us a glimpse, and it definitely got people talking. On a recent episode of her podcast, Unapologetically Angel, Reese sat down with fellow player Dijonai Carrington and made one of the boldest statements we've heard in a while. She didn't just push for better pay. She strongly implied that if the money doesn't match her expectations, she's ready to step away entirely. It was a dramatic moment that left listeners stunned and sparked a fresh round of debate about athlete pay, expectations, and how far players are willing to go to get what they believe they deserve.
I love how y'all have selective hearing. I said I'm hearing if they don't give us what we want, we sitting out. And that's the truth. Good.
This is the same person that literally said she didn't know what her WNBA salary was and that it didn't even cover her rent.
That's right. Angel Reese, who's still finding her footing in the WNBA, believes she has enough influence to make serious demands. But here's where it gets tricky. When you say you deserve more money, the last thing you want is a disappointing performance to follow, and unfortunately, that's exactly what happened. While Reese was calling for superstar-level treatment, Caitlin Clark was out on the court actually performing like one. She's drawing huge audiences, setting records, and consistently delivering on the court. Meanwhile, Reese has struggled with simple plays, some of which quickly turned into viral moments for all the wrong reasons. So, is the WNBA really worried about a potential boycott? Or is this just another moment that fans are shaking their heads at? Stick around. We're taking a closer look at the most talked about and arguably most awkward moments from Angel Reese's so-called rise to stardom.
My expectation is to be one of the best players in the world one day. I wouldn't expect anything less than that.
More history for the Fever Rookie.
At this point, continue to be myself, and I think a lot of good will come from that.
The moment Angel Reese hit the court after her bold comments about a possible boycott, it almost felt like the timing couldn't have been more ironic. When you ask for superstar pay, naturally, fans expect a superstar performance. But that night, things didn't go as planned. Instead of a standout showing, Reese's game was filled with missed opportunities, especially around the rim. It was a tough outing, and unfortunately, the footage looked more like a guide on what not to do in the paint than a highlight reel.
Sykes lofts it up. Reese on the cleanup. Power dribble to separate.
Going up against Aaliyah Boston's Vinyl Basketball Club in the unrivaled league, Angel Reese had a golden chance to show why she believes she deserves a bigger paycheck. But instead of rising to the moment, she struggled mightily, especially around the basket. Reese missed several open layups and close-range shots that fans expected her to make with ease. Some of them weren't just near misses. They hit the backboard hard, drawing audible gasps from the crowd. The timing couldn't have been worse, especially after recently saying her WNBA salary doesn't even cover one of her bills. At one point, it even felt like her teammates were hesitant to give her the ball, possibly sensing how rough her night was going. For someone looking to make a case for superstar pay, this performance raised more questions than answers.
You just threatened the lockout. If y'all don't give us what we want, we sitting out. This is why sometimes you probably should have Somebody look over a podcast. She's threatening to go on strike. I actually understand it's the way negotiations work in the CBA, not on a podcast.
Let's take a step back for some context. Angel Reese is currently on a standard rookie contract, earning around $73,000 this season as part of a 4-year, $325,000 deal. Pretty typical for new WNBA players. But according to Reese, that salary barely makes a dent in her day-to-day expenses. She recently went viral on TikTok after expressing frustration that her WNBA income doesn't even cover a single one of her bills. During that same clip, she mentioned that she's paying $8,000 a month in rent, adding up to $96,000 a year. That's already more than her entire WNBA paycheck.
Hope y'all know, the WNBA don't pay my bills at all. I don't even think that pays one of my bills. Let me do the math real quick.
It might cover that. Yeah, it covers that. It definitely covers that.
What is I don't even know my salary.
Now, to be clear, no one's saying Angel Reese isn't free to live however she chooses. But if your rent alone is higher than your entire WNBA salary, maybe the issue isn't just with the league. It might be time to take a closer look at your budget. Instead of dialing things back, Reese stood firm. She jumped back on social media to let everyone know her comments weren't just heat of the moment. She meant what she said. If her pay doesn't meet her expectations, she's fully prepared to sit out in protest.
No, my rent is more than that. It's $8,000. I'm living beyond my means.
Here's where things get even more interesting. One of Reese's biggest frustrations. She's upset that future rookies, like USC standout Juju Watkins, might end up earning more than she does. Reese pointed out that while this year's incoming players are still under the same rookie pay structure, those drafted in future seasons could see bigger checks thanks to potential changes in league contracts. In her words, they're probably going to be making more than us.
The women coming in, not this year, but next year.
Yeah.
The ones coming this year will still be on the rookie contract again. Mm-hmm. The ones the year after, they're going to get more. They probably going to be making more than us.
Oh, they are.
I'm hurt.
They are. Yeah. I've been in the meetings.
But here's the thing. What Reese is describing isn't unfair. It's just how professional sports contracts work. She signed a 4-year rookie-scale deal, and even if the WNBA updates its collective bargaining agreement to boost rookie salaries in the future, her current contract stays the same. That's standard across all major leagues. Just imagine if every second-year NBA player demanded a raise every time the salary cap increased. It simply doesn't work that way. Once you sign, you're locked in until the contract runs its course.
If I'm an NBA owner, I didn't get rich by wasting a couple million on something that has no chance of making money. These two, sit out, see what happens. Now, I would miss watching the Fever. I would miss watching Caitlin Clark, but I wouldn't miss anything.
And let's not forget, the WNBA is still facing significant financial challenges. They lost around $40 million last season. This isn't exactly the NBA with its massive revenue streams. The league simply can't afford to start tearing up contracts just because Angel Reese is unhappy with hers.
Lost 40, 50 million. You know who would clap for you all sitting out? The NBA. So they don't have to subsidize your dumbasses to the tune of 40 to 50 million a year.
But let's get back to what truly matters. Performance. If you're going to ask for special treatment, you'd better play like an all-star. Instead, Reese is out there missing layups like she's testing the strength of the backboard. If Angel Reese believes she deserves more than her current WNBA contract, she needs to start showing it on the court. Because right now, the only stat she's leading the league in is missed layups.
As a club has not made a three-pointer. Grace turnaround, no good. Final third in the league in three-point field goals. Reese looks to stick with it, nabs it back. Angel Reese, no.
Turns out, fans aren't tuning in to watch Angel Reese miss layups and complain about her paycheck. They're tuning in for real star power. And we all know who that is. Let's be honest. If Reese were really the huge ratings draw she thinks she is, wouldn't her games be selling out? Wouldn't her jersey be flying off the shelves? Wouldn't there be a rush to get tickets to see her play? Instead, it's Caitlin Clark who's leading the WNBA in attendance, jersey sales, and viewership. Meanwhile, Reese is still acting like she's the one bringing all the attention to the league, but with a 39% shooting average and missed layups. That would make a middle school coach cringe.
Reese last night, once again, had one of the worst shooting games in the history of planet Earth. For what's supposed to be a big? I mean, what in the hell is going on here? I understand her team won. I get it. 5 of 13 from the field. 13 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds, only 10 points.
The missed layup montage that's been making the rounds online is honestly one of the funniest things you'll see all year. We're talking about wide open shots, no defenders in sight, and yet she's still finding new ways to miss them. At this point, someone needs to check if the backboard owes Angel Reese money, because she's been taking out all her frustration on it.
This is the same player that just came out and said, if they don't pay them the bag in the WNBA, we sitting out. Quote, we sitting out. What? I mean, after seeing her miss routine layups over and over and over again, I'm like, how the hell can this person possibly be demanding?
As expected, the internet had a field day when clips of those missed layups went viral. Fans jumped in with sarcastic comments like, "Pay her and give her the max," popping up under videos of her missed shots. Others didn't hold back, calling Reese a bricklayer and questioning her skills, with remarks like, "She's so overrated," and Reese is the only one I've seen make a layup look hard.
Reese, 3-on-3, part 13, let's get it! Classic long two. Bang! PSA, no rims or backboards were harmed during the filming of this video. But viewers are encouraged to look away. Bang! What? Bang! I heard her say that she might sit out if the WNBA doesn't pay her what she deserves. I say $1 million for every missed layup is fair. Bang! They are stat petting queen properly. Fair wages for all. I repeat, fair wages. Remember, they're coming to see her. Long two, butter pecan. Bang!
But let's get serious for a second. This isn't how you prove you deserve more money. Imagine walking into your boss's office, demanding a raise, and then immediately fumbling a simple task that's literally part of your job. That's exactly what happened here. Reese talked about how she deserves a bigger paycheck, and then went out and created a highlight reel of missed layups. You really can't make this up.